Everyone. Welcome to today's webinar on Alternative Adult Day Services. We will be hearing directly from providers on their experiences. My name is Roni Falk, and I'm the Manager of Adult Day Services here at LeadingAge, Minnesota, and I'll be serving as the facilitator for this program. We're so excited that you're able to join us here today, albeit virtually, to learn more about Alternative Adult Day Services. Before we get started with today's program, I have a few announcements and instructions to share with you. The PowerPoint presentation you will see on the screen was sent as a handout to the individuals who registered for the program. If you have a question, please use the drop-down box on the right-hand side of the screen to type one in and send it to the presenter. We will be addressing questions at the end of the presentation. And then after today's webinar, an email will be sent to those of you who registered with a link to an online evaluation form. We encourage you to take a few minutes to complete it. The evaluations are a great resource to us as we work ahead on the rest of the modules and other additional plans for webinars for Adult Day Services. So please be sure to complete that evaluation when it hits your inbox. So I'm really excited to be able to introduce our presenters today. We have with us Colleen Crick, who is the Director of Licensing and Recruitment at the Interact Center for Visual and Performing Arts, Christina Kwan, who is the owner and Director of Phoenix Cove Adult Day Services, and Ann Rostrader, who is the Adult Day Services Director at the Minneapolis Veterans Home in Minneapolis, or excuse me, the Minnesota Veterans Home in Minneapolis Adult Day Program. So with all of that, we're going to get started. And we will start, first I think we are going to review our learning objectives for today, which are to understand the role remote technology can play in supporting Adult Day Services clients so you can continue to serve them. We'll be exploring 3 different models for delivering alternative adult day services that your organization can consider adopting. And we'll be gaining insights on best practices for virtual programming to retain current clients and potentially attract new ones. So with all of that, I'm going to turn it over now to Colleen of Interact Center for Visual and Performing Arts to fill us in on what's been happening at her center.
Thank you, Roni. Hi, everyone. My name is Colleen, and I'm just going to briefly talk about our alternative adult day program that we're calling Virtual Interact. Interact's been around for a while, since 1996. We're really hoping to make it through until next year to celebrate our 25th anniversary. Our mission is to create art that challenges perceptions of disability. Interact really pushes the boundaries of traditional adult day by exemplifying the concept of community integration. Artists with and without disabilities work side by side with each other each day to accomplish our mission. Before COVID-19 became widespread throughout our communities, we were serving nearly 120 artists from all ages, all walks of life. So at Interact, we have 2 separate departments. The first is our Performing Arts Department. And in this department, our clients are all working together toward a collective goal of creating and ultimately performing an original theatrical production. Due to COVID-19, we've now not only been forced to close our program, but we've also had to cancel our huge annual fall performance. And that's been incredibly difficult on our clients, especially knowing that all of their hard work that they've put in this past year is no longer going towards, this result of a final production that they can do, since theaters are all closed and we're all kind of sheltering at home still. Our other department is visual arts. And in our visual arts department, our clients are not only building those skills and building portfolios of artwork, but they're also being just part of a larger arts community as a whole. So in our center, clients are consistently working with one another. They're bouncing ideas off one another. They're inspiring that creative process just in general. In visual arts, we frequently host and collaborate with other community centers to have gallery openings and shows. And the point of those gallery shows is not just to sell our clients' artwork, but also to celebrate each other and each other's accomplishments. And now again, because of COVID-19, all that's kind of been put on pause right now. So we shut down on March 18th, and I'm sure like many of you, we did not think this pandemic was going to last this long. As 1 week approached 1 month, we really just knew we needed to do something and to do something proactively to ensure that our clients, their needs and their wants were not forgotten along the way. So we created this virtual Interact program, and it's being offered 100% online via Zoom. The original intent was to align this program as closely as possible to what a typical day in center would have looked like. And the goal of that really was to just maintain some sort of structure and routine. And that's not just for our clients, but also for our staff as well. It's so important to have a routine right now with, being at home as much as we are. So we start our day at 9 a.m. It runs through 3:30 every day. And we offer 2 class options each hour. So one is being led through the Performing Arts department, the other through the visual arts side of things. To date, we've been able to outreach to 86 participants. So it's nowhere near our original 120, but 86 is so many clients that we've been positively impacting. Really awesome too. I'm actually currently in the process of admitting 3 new clients that came to me looking for a virtual program during this time. So it's really incredible to see that having a virtual program is beginning to open so many doors that our in-center program perhaps wouldn't have allowed. So for example, we're able to reach out to participants that maybe live in rural communities where just transportation alone would make coming to our program in St. Paul not feasible. We can also be there virtually for participants that are struggling with leaving their houses for whatever reason that might be, whether it's a medical condition, mental illness, or looking forward to our Minnesota winters. Perhaps, bad weather is going to prevent you from coming to in-center programming. So I'm really excited that we have this opportunity, at least this winter, as a way to provide services during, our rough Minnesota winters instead of having a winter closure. Now, really all this to say, it was not just a simple snap our fingers, we're online, voila, we have a virtual program. It was a lot of work, and there were a lot of learning opportunities along the way. One of the biggest struggles, and continues to be a struggle that we're working through, is in regards to technology and accessibility. When we decided to move forward with Virtual Interact, we first needed to outreach each and every one of our clients individually to see if they even had some sort of device and access to reliable internet. And just an FYI for all of you, if you are looking to do a program like this virtually, smartphones are not really an option. They tend to overheat, and stick with a device, a laptop or a tablet. So once we had that list, what we needed to do then was, okay, these clients don't have access to technology. What can we do? We were able to put together a small fundraiser online, and ultimately, as you can see in some of the pictures here, we were able to purchase quite a few different refurbished laptops at a discounted price. We were able to give those out to some of our clients. That all being said, though, it's expensive, and we were lucky to have that fundraiser where we could purchase this, but it's not going to be a sustainable thing that we can do for every single client, buy them a laptop and provide it to them, especially with, only being able to bill for 4 hours of alternative adult day services. So that is a struggle that we're continuing to look into and to figure out. In addition, internet access, we've not been able to find a way to pay for and provide that for those participants that don't have it. So it's still an ongoing concern in regards to making an amazing virtual program like this accessible for everyone that wants it and needs it. But all in all, our virtual program is incredibly successful. Our clients are happy, really enjoying just having a program again. Obviously, it's not the same as being in center together, but it's really opening so many doors and so many different opportunities. So if you're looking for some tips, if you want to create your own virtual program, I would say just start simple, keep it structured. And then as you get more comfortable with your online platform, you can then begin to build and expand. Keep in mind I would say even just your first month, you're going to focus a lot on how to use your virtual platform. It doesn't have to be Zoom, but just kind of learning the ins and outs of how do I use this program? There are going to be so many questions around that. But again, once you get more comfortable, you'll be able to expand and start growing that. For us, we've also been able, through this virtual class schedule, keep certain licensing components. We've been able to keep our structured exercise program going. We actually had our physical therapist pop in for a session just to watch and tell us how we can modify things, having it in a virtual format instead of in person. We've had our nurse come by every month to do lunch sessions with her where we can just talk and ask questions. It's been just incredibly creative the way we're doing things. And, ultimately, you need to also ask your clients what they want and what they're looking for out of this. It's the only way it's going to be successful and attended. So find a way to ask for input from your clients as well, whether it's through sending out a weekly survey or check-in meetings. Try and tailor this to what your clients are looking for and looking to get out of this. And last is having just staff and everyone on board that's all on the same page. We've been very fortunate at Interact to have just a really awesome bunch of staff that were willing to jump in feet first, try this out, know there's going to be some stumbling blocks along the way. And I'm just so grateful to have the staff that we do that are willing to try something new and make it work. So last, I just want to leave you all with some quotes and testimonies from a few of our artists about how this pandemic has been affecting them and how virtual Interact ties into that. So there's some really wonderful quotes on here, and that's about all I have for you. I'd be happy to answer questions if you have any on how we've put this together, how we've made it work, or if anyone needs some tips and pointers, I'd be happy to work with you one-on-one outside of this meeting to get your own virtual programs up and running. So thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Colleen. That was wonderful. We're going to turn it over now to Ann Rostrader of the Minnesota Veterans Home Adult Day Center.
Good morning, everyone. This is Ann at the Minnesota Veterans Home Adult Day, or as the Vets Club as we call it. We're located in the park by Minnehaha Falls in a very old building built in 1887 that actually served the Civil War veterans. We opened in 2012. We're considered a medical model. We not only provide a full day of activities, but we also focus on the physical and mental health of our clients. So our mission really is to serve those who served. We ended up closing as of March 13th, and most of our staff were reassigned to the skilled facility that is on the same campus. And so right away, the creative staff here that was left jumped into action to help our clients and caregivers who are now homebound. We started the online virtual vets club by the end of March. That's the first thing that we put in place. And we have started a drive-through for clients, spouses to pick up activity packs, and that started by the beginning of April. The drive-through themed events, probably go back on the slides. I'm just kind of giving an overview here. But we also, what we wanted to do right off the bat was develop a survey for our caregivers, which was mailed out in May. And that was to determine what impact our closure was having on the clients and what kind of help our caregivers needed. So we took those results and ran with it. Staff referred caregivers to outside agency for home health, companions, grocery delivery, anything they needed. Most caregivers just appreciated a half-hour phone conversation of us listening to them and giving words of encouragement. So here we started our Vets Club on the road, and we do have a bus, a small kind of van bus, and that's Jody. She's our recreation therapist, and she drives the bus, and then whatever staff that's able to go goes along with her. So there's some of the treats and activity bags that the staff pack up. There's all kinds of different activities in the bags, trivia, actually things that what you see poking out there, fishing poles, and we had fish magnets that they could put on the ground and try to find that for some tactile and visual stimulation. And there's 3 of our gals. That's our social worker, Ruth, our dietitian, Jenny, and our rec therapist, Jody. And they were just leaving one of the clients' houses. They usually meet outside and sit out in chairs, socially distancing to chat. We try to visit with probably between 4 and 6 clients at a time in a day, and we try to see every client at least once a month, and we have grouped them like red group, blue group, and all by geographic location. And our clients just love it when we come and see them. And it's good for our clients because we want them to see those familiar faces and not forget about us, give them something to look forward to, and be able to remember who we are so when they return. What you're seeing here is the search for Spirit Rock. That was one of the activities on a previous home visit. The gals had delivered rocks that they decorated for the clients, and the client's mission was to hide those Spirit Rocks somewhere in their yard. Not too hard to find, but then when the staff came for the next visit, they had to go search for the Spirit Rock, and the clients got a big kick out of that. And of course, snacks are always appreciated. We try to get lots of good goodies and more nutritional items that we drop off, and they look forward to that. Of course, we need all our sanitizing supplies. The girls wear masks and wipe down all of the bags. The activity packs that we do send out, everything that we do put in there that we can get returned is fully we're fully able to sanitize those, and otherwise the things that we do leave with them are in a folder, the trivia, that type of thing. And we call ahead to all the families, tell them exactly when we'll be there so that they'll be outside and wearing their protective gear. This is one of the drive-through events that we have. So we've got the virtual, we've got Vets Club on the road, and we also have the drive-through events. We try to do at least 2 or 3 of these events per month, and they've been a big hit. We usually get about 15 to 20 cars coming through. So it usually goes from about 11 until 2 or 11 to 1. We provide a full meal for both the spouse and the client. And they drive through, we play games while they're all in their cars. And of course, we did the hula for them this time. And we provide the activity bags as well as a full lunch. And then most of them take their lunch. It's a hot lunch. And they go up to one of the parks that are nearby and have a nice lunch together. On this one, that was the basketball and Father's Day, and that's me with the basketball hoop on my head, and they liked that a lot. And then they got to win prizes if they got it in, but we kind of made sure they got it in. And here's some of our virtual Vets Club. We send that out twice a week, and it kind of hits all the different areas. We want to make sure that they stay physical and are also stimulated mentally. I guess, a lot of our guys are most of them have some form of dementia, and we've already lost 5 of them since we had shut down. I think that without any kind of stimulation or socialization, what we found out in the survey that we sent out anyway, that many of them were declining rapidly. They were just so used to coming here, and a lot of them 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week, and really being in a structured program and being very involved in things. And now it's been so long and they're just sitting at home with nothing to do. So we want to make sure that doesn't happen. And just about all of our caregivers except 2 have email capacity. So that's been really great. And here's some more examples of different activities and things that the caregivers can do with the clients. And it's been really, really successful. We've got some great feedback on all of the 3 things that we're doing at this time. And here's some more with things that they can do. And this is all, the brainchild of my wonderful staff coming up with all of these great ideas for our veterans. And it's worked out really well. And we also, here at our day center, we always had a once a month caregiver support group, and we are an official location for the Alzheimer's Association. And it's led by our social worker here, Ruth. And so now she's doing that on call-in phone conference like we're doing now. And she's had usually about 30 caregivers on the calls. And they really still want to be connected to us. And when a lot of people saw, in the news that day centers were allowed to open, I was flooded with calls. Unfortunately, they didn't realize what the restrictions to that were going to be, and that's been really hard for them. So we kind of told them that we can only have like 6 people for up to 3 hours in a day. And we're kind of thinking at this point we may begin that mid-September, crossing our fingers that that second wave of COVID doesn't hit, along with, the flu season coming at the same time. It's kind of scary, but we're just gonna, do our best and try to write up that preparedness plan that is quite difficult, but we'll get through that too. And if anybody, wants to see some of the things we're doing, we're happy to share with you. And then we can serve as many people out in the community as possible. Just let me know, shoot me an email, and we'll help you in any way we can. Thanks.
Great. Thank you so much, Anne. And now, everyone, don't forget that you can start posing your questions in the questions box, and we'll get to them at the end of the webinar. But before that, I'm really happy to introduce Christina Kwan of Phoenix Cove Adult Day Center, who'll be sharing some information about how her center has pivoted to alternative adult day services.
Hi everyone. My name is Christina Kwan. I am the owner and director of Phoenix Cove Adult Day Center. We are actually located in Richfield. We moved from our St. Paul location about 3 years ago. We are inside Hope Church in Richfield, and our mission is to be a cove of care for connection and community through advocacy, resources, and care, bringing dignity, honor, and purpose for our Asian elders of the Twin Cities. And our client consists of majority of them are Cambodian, and we also have some Vietnamese elders as well. Pre-COVID, we served around 45 clients. We actually have lost 2 since we've closed on March 13th as well. And these were non-COVID deaths due to other factors. I wanted to give you a glimpse of how unique our adult day center is pre-COVID. We actually did everything in groups, and everything from doing table activities to exercise to arts and crafts to games. And we had 100% participation. And part of that was because of the incentives they got. They got points for everything that they participated in. But we also took them on monthly field trips that included bowling and volunteering at Feed My Starving Children. We took them shopping weekly. We did seasonal outings like the Arboretum and the Apple Orchard and the Mississippi Cruise. So it was a really fun, very out into the community services that we provided. And pre-COVID, of course, they came, they all confided in us and of course with each other. And just to give you a glimpse of how close they are with each other, if one of them passed away, they would all start, this is on their own, not even, staff has nothing to do with this. They would start a chain of pooling the little money that they had, $5, $3, $10 together to gift to the family of the deceased member. They truly loved and cared for each other. They would greet each other with hugs, and they have a unique way of communicating with each other. One would be speaking Khmer, the other speaking Vietnamese, and then they start laughing, and it's just beautiful to see. But as you know, with COVID, all of this has changed, and we are kind of in a new world, and we have to come up with ways to serve our elders now. So back then, I don't know if you all remember, but there was just such chaos of so many people panic buying in the grocery stores, and rice was nowhere to be found. And of course, this scared our elders even more. and long lines at the grocery stores. But we knew at that time that something had to be done, and we actually started during the week. We closed on March 16th. Actually, that was the first day that we closed, and that week we started talking to people like Partners in Quality Care, and started talking to our local health department. We didn't know where funding was going to come from, but we knew something had to be done. So in talking to Partners in Quality Care, I think some of you are working with them as well, and the local health department, we came up with meals that we can send home to our seniors, and this would be like weekly meals. We would do 3 meals a day for 7 days a week, and we deliver once each week. Prior to COVID, we actually did hold a license for home delivered meals, and the reason we did that was because a few of our elders needed to have food sent home with them. And we have a commercial license that is licensed through the local health department, which in Ridgefield is Bloomington. So with the help of the Partners in Quality Care and the health department, we came up with weekly menus that we can send home. And these weekly menus consisted of culturally specific foods that our seniors are familiar with, you know, like noodles and rice and Asian fruit and Asian vegetables. The picture that you see right now is, I don't know if you know, but a rambutan is an Asian fruit. And I said, this kind of reminds me of the coronavirus, which is a picture that Ashley has on top of your screen there. But these are all culturally specific foods that they are familiar with. And I don't know about other cultures, but in our Asian culture, food is comfort. And I think that by seeing us deliver the food on a weekly basis and seeing a familiar face and seeing things that they know and are familiar with is pretty comforting to them. So we started delivering these weekly packs about a week after we closed, and we started with at the time 20 elders who said yes, they really need this. And now we're serving actually over 50 meals, and we have included referrals from other care coordinators as well as referrals from other adult days. We actually have, this actually led into partnering opportunities with organizations like Gifts for Seniors. They've approached us and asked us if there was a way we can get gift packets to seniors. And we told them we deliver these packs every week, and they said great. So we delivered some arts and crafts and gifts for our seniors with the help of Gifts for Seniors. They donated those gift packets. And you know, now that they're used to us kind of delivering every week, they are actually coming to rely on this. And caregivers are saying how helpful this has been for them, as some of them, you know, are essential workers and they had to work and didn't have the chance to go shop for their parents. So this has helped caregivers as well as our clients not having to go out into the community or into the grocery store. And then this also brought on another organization asked us if we would deliver like food to our clients who they're a Cambodian organization, and they asked if we can help with that too, and we were happy to, except we called our seniors and say there's another organization wanting to give you food. Surprisingly, most of them said, no, you guys are providing more than we need. So they kind of turned that away. But our weekly, our drivers are really enjoying the weekly delivery that they do. In fact, they would rush us because every week they said, the seniors are waiting for me, the seniors are waiting for me, so I have to go. And they actually are spending more time than they used to. These are elders who have been isolated, and so now it's not uncommon to have our drivers spend 30 minutes with the elders that they bring the food to, because they're just so desperate to have somebody to talk to that they really look forward to our weekly deliveries. So, you know, our business has pivoted from adult day to now food delivery, but, you know, we are serving such a need for our clients. And in fact, I know that Colleen and Ann had talked about the lack of Wi-Fi availability, and that's part of the reason why we can't do virtual, is because some of our people don't have access to Wi-Fi. But just so you know, that the Hennepin libraries are now trying to launch a program where they're gonna let you borrow a hotspot for 2 months at a time or 8 weeks at a time. So we're partnering with a local library in our community, and we're gonna get just for now 8 hotspots, so we can give it to our elders, and then we're gonna give them some tablets that we currently have, and we're gonna try to attempt a virtual program. But you know, they do see us every week. We are seeing that they are truly declining because they're at home, and people who used to be able to walk now no longer can walk. And you all know that they're all basically declining. The other thing, so with reimbursement for the program that we're doing, you know, we're getting a small reimbursement from Partners in Quality Care. If you're familiar with them, you know that they help kind of offset the food costs to your program. Because we're licensed for home delivered meals, we can bill for home delivered meals, and we're doing 3 meals a day, seven days a week. We can't, you can only bill 1 meal a day under this under the home delivered meals program. So we have not yet tried to bill alternative adult day, but I believe we can do that now since the end of April. It's just getting those care coordinators to change those service agreements is kind of a challenge for us at this time. And what did we learn from this through this COVID? I guess we learned that, you know, it's so easy for us as providers to, because our program is closed, to not look after our elders. But I think more than ever, they do need us, and they do need us to not leave them behind. So if I can help you in any way if you're interested in this food program, I'd be more than happy to walk you through it. I think that this is by no means a huge moneymaker, but it's providing a service, and it's going to help us hopefully stay or hang on until we can finally open. So with that, that's how we pivoted. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Christina. We have had a few questions come in, so I'm going to start off with those. And then if you have additional questions, please feel free just to type them into the questions box on the right sort of toolbar that you have in front of you. So the first question says, for those having a high success rate with virtual services, are you requiring that folks use a certain platform? If so, how many sessions did it take for participants and staff to get comfortable getting connected with minimal issues? Colleen, I think this question is kind of geared towards you.
Sure. If I'm understanding the question correct, we are asking that participants come 12 hours a week. So it's about 3-4 hour days. And really to get people on board with that was sending out those surveys every week to see, you know, what classes are you wanting to see and participate in, so we can really gear what we're offering towards what people want to participate in. So it's not, you know, like a chore to come attend. Oh, I wish I don't have to do this. They're actually wanting to come and participate. And I guess the same with
Okay, and then which
as
platform are you
well.
using? Is it Zoom or?
So we're using Zoom. It just seemed to be something that the staff were most comfortable using at Interact, and that's what we ended up using.
And then when you kind of first got started, can you walk through some of the troubleshooting, some of the issues that people were having with connectivity, and how any sort of troubleshooting tips you had?
Yeah, so on one of those slides, they had a sample agenda on there. And what we found to be the easiest way to get into the classes, we hyperlinked every single meeting. So on the agenda to enter into a class, all of our clients had to do is click on the class title and it brings you into Zoom automatically. So they don't need to create a Zoom account. They don't need to log in. They don't have to enter passwords. They just click on the class they want to attend and then they're in.
Okay, great. The next question is for Christina. It says, where did you get the funds for providing and delivering the meals?
Well, we first started using our own funds, and then Partners in Quality Care had a thing out that said that they can reimburse now for if we're delivering the meals. So they kind of offset some of our costs to do that, but we were at the beginning funding it ourselves.
Okay, and then you are able to get some reimbursement through the home delivered meals, and then you're looking into adding the additional reimbursement for alternative adult day services once that gets kind of allowed through the client case managers?
Yep, yes, correct. And
Great.
the reimbursement rate for home delivered meals is like $7.06 per meal, and you can only do one meal a day.
Okay. Okay. I have another question on here for Colleen about where you purchased those refurbished laptops from. Was there a specific organization, or was it just kind of a web search, or
They're
where did
called
those come from?
Dump in St. Paul. I believe in St. Paul.
Did you say Tech Dump?
Yep, Tech Dump. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Okay, next question is for Christina. Can you say more about getting the library to loan the hotspots? Do the clients go to the library to use them?
No, so we had partnered with Augsburg Library in Ridgefield on other occasions, and they reached out to us, and they said that they're launching this program where each of the libraries will have so many hotspots that you can basically check out, and you can check them out 8 weeks at a time. So she had reserved 8 for our elders, and we're going to try to see if that will work. But yeah, they have a very limited number of hotspots that they can check out 2 months at a time. And you know, your local library might have other resources like that.
Absolutely. And then, Christina, just because you've mentioned them a couple times, can you talk a little bit more about Partners in Quality Care and what they do for you, and what that partnership has kind of looked like pre-COVID and now during COVID?
So Partners in Quality Care they essentially provide us with a free dietitian, basically. where the dietitian will look at your menus and kind of come up with your menus. And now that's pre-COVID, you know, because we cook our own meals on site and we cook culturally specific meals on site. So we just send them the ingredients, they come back with serving sizes and everything. And now when we were doing our home delivered meals, they came up with, so I came up with ideas for them and I had to ask, okay, does this count? Does this count? So you have to, there's a list of nutritional value and items or foods that are accepted to be nutritionally nutritious for our elders. And so when I came up with ideas, they would say, no, this doesn't work, or yes, this works. You know, for instance, like protein. How do you get protein delivered to them? So we can, you know, there's canned chicken. There's, we are now with culturally specific foods, we're using tofu. And they'll tell us like how many servings of what it counts as one meal. And then they reimburse you for, it's a small reimbursement for, you know, for the meals that you provide to the seniors, the elders.
Right, and isn't that through the Child and Adult Care Food Program, the federal program?
Yes, correct.
Okay, great. There's a request on here that Anne provide her email address so we can get ideas on the virtual vets club. And that's something that we can send out to folks after the call today. Any other questions for our panelists? It looks like three really very different approaches to continuing to serve adult day clients and their family caregivers, which is great. So, okay, it looks like we don't have any other questions coming in. So, so I think we will have a few kind of closing announcements that I want to share with everyone. And then I think we will kind of finish up. So really just a very, very big thank you to all of the faculty for presenting and sharing what you're doing to support your participants and family caregivers. And thanks to everyone on the call today for your participation and for asking questions. A reminder to please fill out the short webinar evaluation, which will be sent via email after the program. That will also include the handouts from today. And I think that's it for today. So thanks everyone again for your participation, and a reminder that we will be meeting on Thursday at 3 o'clock as an adult day community for our coaching room and weekly huddle. So that's Thursday at 3. You can find the link on our website, or you'll have it in your email as well. So thanks everyone for your participation, and have a great rest of the day.